What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I am your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week is Ashley Dye and Dan Gilbert.
Gents.
Alright.
Gentlemen, there's no point us doing this intro, really, is there?
Not really. I think people must know by now what we are, who we are, what we do.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
But if you are new to the Game of the Week show, welcome. And also to let you know what it is three friends sitting around this table every Monday to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We'll then also go through this week's game releases before picking our favourite game of the week. So a lot of news this week, gents. First up, we're a little bit late this month. Well, not us.
That's not our fault.
Well, it kind of is. It came out the day after our last episode and we've taken another 6 days.
Okay.
So what we really should have done is done a special video just for PlayStation Plus.
We should have done.
But we didn't.
Hindsight. Oh.
We could have tried to predict it as well. That would have been funny.
Well, actually, I'm not that I'm going to be all big-headed here, but I did say OlliOlli 2 was possibly one of the things that was holding it up. Did I not? The answer is yes, I did say that. But yeah, yes. So OlliOlli 2, obviously, first up. I know we're going out of order now.
We are, but
it's fine.
You run the show, Matt. So you
of course,
whatever. It's fine.
So that's one of the Vita games this month, but also actually available on PS4.
Yeah.
OlliOlli was very well regarded. It's basically a 2D kind of indie kind of skateboarding game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the spiritual successor to Tony Hawk's, which.
By that you mean it's basically one of the only skateboarding games
Well,
out there.
There aren't many, are there? There was Skate.
There's Skate.
There was Skate. I played Skate. I did
Skate was good, actually. I really enjoyed Skate.
Yeah, I did. I like Skate. It was good.
But no, OlliOlli 2 is one that I'm excited for.
It's a simplistic skateboarding game.
But yeah.
Basic. I like it.
We'll stay on Vita, seeing as we started with Vita. Vita is really the most important.
Well, obviously.
Kind of. It's already on life support. It needs the most help.
It does.
Based on the fact that people only watch 2 or 3 minutes of our videos normally, let's get it at the start. Counter Spy.
Plug Vita.
Which is also PS3 and PS4 as well. So a lot of cross-buy this month.
Okay.
Side-scrolling stealth game. It's kind of based in the Cold War. We watched the trailer before. What did you
like the
think of
artwork?
Yeah, it does look good. Not sure. I mean, there's quite a few to choose from this week, and I'm not sure how many I'll play. I mean, obviously, gonna select it, add it to the library as everybody should do. But whether I'm actually gonna get to play it, I don't know. Don't know. It looks nice.
Yeah, I'm quite interested. I've heard good things about it, so I'll be interested to check that one out. We'll now jump back onto PS4, and first up we've got Oddworld: Abe's Odyssey, which a game classic. I would hope that you guys remember from the PS1. How much do you remember of this game, though?
Not much. I didn't own it, but I remember playing it a chunk at a friend's house. But yeah, apart from Abe himself, I don't really remember too much of the game.
I think even if you haven't played it, though, you know it, don't you?
I always just remember, I was very disappointed. I watched the trailer for this new one, and I always remember this was this weird alien that used to fart all the time.
Yeah.
Being like the childish kind of 8-year-old boy I was, obviously, farting in a video game was hilarious.
Yeah.
And there's not one single fart in the launch trailer. Very upsetting.
Clearly, Matt still finds it funny. 28 years old.
But there was basically, yes, it's the reboot of the classic from PS1. You know, new visuals, new worlds, and all of that, and it looks really, really good, and definitely want to pick up.
It's nice to have Abe in the full sort of HD resolution. I think it's just brought it into the modern era.
We need more Alien games. We don't have enough aliens.
We don't.
Really. And also on PS4, we've got Valiant Hearts, which is supposed to be. I have already purchased this, but yet played it, so now it was a waste of all £3 or whatever it was.
This is one I've not actually looked at, to be honest. I don't know anything about this one.
Yeah, it's an adventure game, kind of a lot of narrative story. Based around different characters in World War One, which, I mean, I'll go to Dan as the history expert. Is World War One something that you can? I mean, this is supposed to be really good.
Okay.
And I didn't envisage the war was quite a serious thing, was it not?
Yeah, generally for a number of people.
Isn't?
I don't know. Console wars,
robot wars,
resolution wars, robot wars. Yeah, there's plenty of wars that aren't serious. But no, it's I'm just surprised that they can make, a game from this war? Because it was all this was a lot darker than World War Two. Yes, am I correct? World War One.
Well, it depends on the scope you're looking at. Because you talk about it, it's meant to have been the one that ended all wars because it was supposed to have been that atrocious.
Yeah, and then we had World War Two.
And then they kicked off and had a few more since. So take that how you will.
Okay, but well, I won't say any more about history because you can probably clearly tell I know very little. But no, it is a puzzle adventure game. It's supposed to be really, really good. I recommend everyone checks this one out. Moving on to PS3 for those people that still clinging on to the old generation. We have. I generally don't know the last time I turned my PS3 on.
Ditto. The
Weird.
controller just feels so alien now. It's so light and there's nothing.
And horrible.
Yeah, I can't until they get all PS3 games with PS4 adaptability. I'll be not touching it very much.
I know it's weird. Whereas just over a year ago, it was your baby. Maybe not literally, but
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to kind of make you look a little better, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Papo and Yo is the first one. It's a fantasy adventure game. What did you just do?
Yo.
We need to find someone else down. It's a fantasy adventure game about like a boy and what I understood it was a boy and his pet monster. That's how I understood it, but I don't know too much about this one.
It still looks puzzly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does look puzzly, but it does look interesting. I like the art. I kind of got very much like a Eco Shadow of the Colossus vibe from it. I don't know if either of you played those games. Just kind of from the art style and the very kind of the kind of the scenery that's going on. It's basically Japanesey. That's what I'm trying to say.
It looks great. I just think it's not very clear exactly what the game is really about.
Everyone's turning off now because we're so ignorant.
Yeah,
we didn't do any more research and watch the trailer. But then again, trailers should help you
understand the game.
We're in the 21st century. We don't want to read stuff anymore.
No.
Just want to watch stuff and find out.
I've only ever just looked at pictures.
Rounding out PS3 then is Sherlock Holmes Crime Punishment. Not that surprising. A Sherlock Holmes game is a kind of a detective crime solving game.
No.
I know, shock horror. So you basically get to be the famous Sherlock and solve crimes and stuff. And
like the interesting thing I did see about it when I saw like on the blog the games that are coming out, this one is quite open in terms of how Sherlock can go around and solve these crimes.
Okay.
So he can find whatever evidence and he can end up accusing whoever. So it's not like you have to find. It's not a linear style of go here and collect this and then you eventually solve it.
Yeah, I like that.
You can basically be wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like the LA Noire style of like find what clues you do and come to your conclusion.
That's what I liked of LA Noire is it wasn't you had a selection of answers and you weren't always right and but you could still piece together the right solution in the end.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that game actually.
Yeah, I did.
But anyway, yes, those are the plus games for this month. As Ash said at the start, make sure you go download or just add them to your library.
Yeah.
Even if you have no intention of playing now, they're free games. There's no reason to pass them up.
Yeah, they're not going to clog up your memory on your PlayStation or your Vita if you haven't actually downloaded them. Yeah. Just select them.
Okay, so moving on then. Number 2 this week, Metal Gear Solid 5 has finally got a release date. It's been announced by Konami this week, September the 1st, 2015. Now, Ash, how excited are you?
Very, very, very. I mean, I was just a massive fan of Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, 2008. That was when I bought my PS3. And it was just a game I just blitzed for just weeks and weeks and weeks, and I loved it. Really good.
Did you play any of the others before then, or was that the...
No, that was the first one I really got into.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to... Dana, I think we spoke before, you kind of haven't played Metal Gear much?
No, but this is probably the right opportunity to jump back in and give it a go.
The right opportunity is basically, I have Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3 to my PlayStation catalogue, to my profile.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to make you... I could gift them to you, I suppose. I can't really force you to buy something. But I'm going to make you guys play these games. And I want to go back as well. This year, that's my summer goal. Because this is a game coming out right after the summer. Summer's normally quite a quiet time to go back and try and play 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe Peace Walker as well.
Well, the thing is, Kojima have said that potentially this is what the last.
He said that this could be the last Metal Gear game.
So could we see a catalogue? A
special kind of.
I know it would take a while to come out after Metal Gear Solid 5, but potentially.
I think kind of we see obviously a lot of HD remakes and stuff now, and we already have 2 and 3 on the PS3 HD remade, and obviously PS4, number 4 on PS3 is easy, but Metal Gear Solid I think is too. You can't just upscale that game because it's so old. You would have to make it again from the ground up. So maybe as like an anniversary, but I'd be surprised personally.
Yeah. Just thought. But no, this one, really, really up for this. Definitely.
Yeah. And that's what we're all going to do. We're all going to play all of Metal Gear Solid games this summer.
Yes, sir.
By the time 1st of September comes around, we will have played them. If not, you won't be allowed in the door.
Okay.
I'm putting my foot down.
Okay.
Number 3, Project Morpheus, the VR headset for PlayStation, or made by Sony, has finally been announced that it will be coming out in the first half of 2016. So that was announced at GDC last week. We got a load of information about kind of the specs of it as well. Dan, what do you think about this device now? We've talked about it I think a couple of times before.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion of this device now that it's kind of in theory only a year away?
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on the whole concept of like the VR headsets as a whole. As in like what I've seen of like the Oculus Rift and so on, and obviously the mock-up for Project Morpheus, is just like it just looks too clunky. It's like as something to just,
you're not sure about having big things all over your face kind of thing. What?
No,
I'm pretty sure that's not an innuendo.
I don't know. But it's just like I'm just not sold on the concept of like TV's over there, fine. I'm not sold on the concept of then having to go, you know what, and I can't be bothered with like the big TV. I'm just gonna instead.
That thing I've used for 20 years to play my video games. Nah. How about this giant headset? That makes much more sense.
Yeah,
I can understand that, and it is a big thing to come on. But
I'm the other side of the fence, to be honest. I think it's a really good thing, and I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, but like the biggest thing that I'm not sold on is the fact that you're going to have a screen here.
It won't feel like that.
No, but as in like
the depth perception, I think, will be there. That
it's not going to be like the equivalent of you know, when you were a kid and you sat right in front of a TV. It's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because if it did, it'd just be really weird.
Yeah, it would.
I get that, but as in like it's still, I just don't.
Yeah, no, I think it's still
sell me at the moment.
I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, this is just my expectations, but I'm hoping that it is a sort of fully immersive,
experience.
Yeah, and the depth is there, that it almost feels like it's the reality. So it's
well, that's the purpose of it. I mean, like Sony released a headset kind of 2 or 3 years ago, but I think I spoke to you about it. I kept umming and ahhing about getting. It wasn't full VR, but it was basically a 3D screen that was like in front of your own eyes, and so it was. I can't remember I don't think it was called anything fancy. I think it was just the Sony set, like VR 761 or something like that. But that idea kind of is interesting because you can play games without having to need to be on the TV. So like in like a multiple household.
Yeah,
we talked about it before.
I could allow Becky to watch her Only Way is Essex or whatever she's watching on telly. And it's a lot politer way than how you described it before. Yeah, okay. Because she might watch the video. And I can just sit there nice and happily just with my VR unit on, my headphones, and just be quite happy. Yeah.
I can just imagine how weird that would look on the outside if you were playing a game that got you angry. And you're just like sat there saying,
I think the just going through the specs very quickly. So we've been told it's going to be an OLED display.
Yeah.
Full 1080p resolution as expected. 120 hertz refresh rate, which kind of takes away any of like the motion blur. Latency, which is obviously a big thing, is going to be less than 18 milliseconds. Now I don't know what latency normally is, but I know 18 milliseconds is pretty quick. So So that's good. What?
Nothing.
And it's a 5.7-inch display with a 100-degree field of vision. So,
How does it go, Matt? Like
It's
that.
about that.
Yeah.
It's about that.
So for anyone that's watching, before we started filming, we were discussing this, and Matt was trying to demonstrate what a 100-degree field of vision was, and there was a lot of this going on.
But like, the point was, like, you were saying that 100 degrees is not a lot. But the argument is, obviously it's not. It's just beyond the right angle. But when it's right on your face, I think that's still going to be enough. That was my point.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with like a mobile phone screen, isn't it? Like the closer the thing is to you, the less size you need. No, just fuck off. I think what it comes down to anyway is going to be the price of this. That's the big thing. I really I'd want to try it first. Whether or not we'll get that opportunity in Guernsey is
You will.
is another thing, because we don't really have like a Sony store over here.
No, we don't. But I'd like to think that
Someone
that
would.
place by the church would have it.
Yeah.
Don't want to do any free advertising. So
Yeah. So if you work by the church and would like your name talked about on our show, please send us a check for $5,000. Actually, pounds
Dollars.
even. Pounds would be more useful. But yeah, so it's something that I'm excited to see.
Sorry.
I'm excited to see how this kind of progresses over the next year, and when we get a bit more news, then we can maybe make an informed decision.
There is so much momentum with this now. There are so many different people trying to move this forward and really get some traction with getting it into the market, that I think it is going to be right.
I think VR headsets are here to stay, whether people want them or not.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, number 4, the big news of this week, the one that makes me happy.
Ugh.
Rock Band 4 has been confirmed for this year. We spoke a couple of weeks ago about rumours of Rock Band. These guys wouldn't let me talk about the rumours of Guitar Hero last week, because they were like, stop talking about these stupid music games. But now this week, we can't hide this from the news. It's been confirmed, coming out this year, Rock Band 4. The big thing is, with PS4 and Xbox One, all your previous DLC will still work with this new game, provided you're on the same system platform. Basically, your 360 stuff will carry to Xbox One, and it's not quite as good as Rockstar, where you could actually take your character from anywhere to anywhere.
Yeah.
You do have to be on the same platform, but that's cool. And they're also trying to find a way to make the old peripherals work, but apparently that's up to Sony and Microsoft, because like the way they communicate is different. So Sony and Microsoft will need to make
a patch,
like a dongle or something that you plug in, because there's different frequencies. I don't know, there's different frequencies and stuff.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean they are going to be very different systems, and they're obviously built for a specific type of system.
Well, it's the wireless technology they use now is obviously different. So, which is probably the same reason why it's not quite as simple to make your PS4 controller just work with your PS3.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
But I am really excited for this. You guys, you're not quite as on board as I am.
Nah.
No.
It's disappointing.
You're on your own. You're always on your own, Matt.
Well, I feel like really I'm leading it the correct way, and you guys are just falling off. I think that we should, and I'm sure our viewers will agree, that we should do a multiplayer video of us playing Rock Band. And Ash, you could be the singer.
I was going to say it will be purely for comical value.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will be the drummer extraordinaire at the back. It's the only time you'll ever see me not take centre stage or something. Dan could shred the guitar, and then you can be our vocal.
I'll be the vocalist, yeah, obviously, because I have just voice of an angel when it comes to singing.
Well, I'm pretty sure it can't be any worse than mine. So yeah, there you go. And also, if you do pre-order it, you'll get exclusive kind of colours, instruments, because obviously it is going to be releasing with new instruments as well. So.
And we don't have a date yet, we just know it's this year.
No, we'll find out more information at E3 in a couple of months. But what I did like on this as well, they've said that this is going to be a platform for this generation. It's not going to be like the last generation where we get a new one every year. It's going to be this, and then it's going to be updated through updates, new DLC packs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which do you think that's the right way to go? Is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, rather than a new release every year. Definitely, just
I think for
DLC.
a game like this, because essentially the fundamental mechanics of the game
Doesn't
are not
change.
changing. It's just you want new songs,
Yeah, I agree.
which is
yeah,
DLC is the way to go for
I
it.
think it's time. And hopefully the consumers will embrace it.
Well, as we said before, I think you've got that sort of slightly newer, different generation that's coming in now that maybe has only experienced the other games very briefly. So I think it's worth. It's definitely that enough time has passed.
It's been 5 years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, closing out this week and another EA Access update. We spoke about it last week with the Battlefield debate.
Yeah.
But on the good news side, Madden 15 is being added to the vault, which is, I thought, Dan, is pretty good because that's obviously a current sports game-ish. I know, I know the season is now over,
Yeah.
but the next game's not out till August, so
Yeah,
you've got
it's like-
5 months.
I did look at that and go, it's kind of good, kind of bad in the sense, like you're saying, it's still current because it's the most up-to-date one. But the thing about Madden is it always gets updated as the season goes along. So like as players move or get injured, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all the roster changes now that happen aren't going to be reflected in the game
Yeah, because it's the end of it's
because
after
the
season.
season's officially ended. So you're kind of getting an out-of-date thing.
But it's free. So my argument is that we've had this come out now.
Yeah.
I understand the hardcore fans, they're going to be wanting to play it whilst the
At
season
release.
is on.
At release, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but then we had NBA Live last week as well,
Mhm.
the latest NBA Live,
Yeah, that is the season that's still
and the
going.
season's still going on. Okay, maybe that game doesn't sell quite as well as Madden, which is why they've dropped it in early. But my point is, for someone like Ash, who's definitely a more casual sports fan, do you think this is the way of the future for casual sports fans to play video games? Because all we need now is NHL to go in there, and then you've got last year's FIFA still, and you've got this year's NBA, this year's Madden. And if they're going to do this every year, like drop the game in basically after the season's over,
Then
is that
as
the
a,
pers-
as
as
a
a-
casual sports gamer, you'll be happy to wait. Yeah.
because it's you basically pay the price of not even one game a year. I think it's £30 a year, so less than one game a year. And if you like multiple sports,
Yeah.
to me this is like an absolute no-brainer for
Oh yeah.
for the casual sports fans. And I think it's a good platform they're building because they know that they're still going to get that hardcore base buying the games year in year out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So you got no excuse now, Ash.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was hoping that and I mentioned last week, I think probably off camera, about the new sort of EA golf game. It's not going to be Tiger Woods because they've dropped the whole Tiger Woods thing now. But
Why did they do that?
oh, no idea.
Okay. So I just assumed that you would know, seeing as
Well, I'm guessing because
he's shit now.
I was going to say I've got to be careful what I say, but he's I suppose he's not a role model anymore that he used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just called like PGA golf or something.
Just
something
PGA
like
Tour, whatever. Yeah, but looking at the trailer, it looks really good. But hopefully, I mean, something like that, which is a game that I love playing. I do really enjoy the EA golf games. I probably would.
But you don't. That's like something that you don't need to have the latest one of, do
Definitely,
you? Because
yeah, definitely.
it's not doesn't have. Well, I think golf does still have a season, does it?
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
It's not. Is it all year or is it kind of ever running or?
Yeah, it's basically all year round. Yeah.
So yeah.
Just goes wherever the weather's good.
Yeah, they have a calendar of events every year, which doesn't really change much. It doesn't vary much at all year to year.
Well, that's what I mean. As in, it's just
Yeah.
they play where it's summer.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Well, that would be a good game, I think, to add because golf games they're reasonably fun to play.
If they're done properly, then yeah. I mean, I played pretty much all of the Tiger Woods series from 2008 onwards, and there were some years that were just awful games to play. They were horrible, and there were some that were amazing.
Well, we shall see how it develops, and I am interested in this whole EA Access thing. I think
It's still early on, but I think that it's going in the right direction. As with sort of the games with Gold and the PS Plus and all that sort of thing, the idea is there. I think you just need to have a decent catalogue of games to make it.
Do you think if it picks up enough steam, so you will reconsider?
I don't think so.
Or do you think that bridge has been burned?
I don't think it would ever be taken off the table, but they're obviously very much in the mind of wanting PlayStation Now to take off.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait to see how that develops. And I don't know. I mean, like we see things now like Netflix, obviously, and I just wonder if kind of subscription-based services for catalogue games is where the future is going. You know, if this thing is good enough for EA, then will we maybe see Activision's one and Ubisoft's one in the future? Like, because let's be honest, once a game gets so old, you're better to try and make money on it
another way.
Because like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people now sign up to EA Access because they want to play the new Madden, but it's like, well, I might as well pay my $30 and get it this way rather than pay my $30 and buy it outright because I don't have access to all these other games as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Right, talking of games, let's move on to this week's game releases. We're going to start with, well, I know we always do Game of the Week, but it's probably already going to be obvious when I talk about this game how much I like it. Screamride for the Xbox One and 360. It's a roller coaster destruction racer. It's kind of, those are my words, surprisingly, not PR words.
Very technical.
I don't know really how to describe it as much, but
when we've spoken about it, we've said it's very similar to Trials. There's sort of elements of Trials fusion. There's elements of Burnout in there. Roller Coaster Tycoon. You've got all these sort of elements of different games thrown into the mix, and it's a combination of that, really.
Yeah, because there's 3 different game modes, isn't there? There's the Screamrider,
which is
like Trials. You basically navigate a course
of
increasing difficulty, as quickly as you can, doing tricks
points
on the way as well.
Yeah.
Then you've got Demolition, which is like Burnout Crash, where you just throw your roller coaster into buildings and try and blow them up.
Score points, yeah.
And then you've got Engineer as well, which is kind of like roller coaster. Build your own tracks and let people race them. So it's I don't know. I've only played the demo because
we both did, didn't we?
Don't get me started. But basically, Amazon pissed me off.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to try and. I know we're supposed to be talking about games. I don't like going off on a tangent too much, but I'm really reconsidering pre-ordering with Amazon anymore. I might just go to like the local game shop.
Yeah.
Because the one that's by the church.
The one that's by the church. Actually, they are called Just Games. There you go. And hopefully, when they see this video and all of our millions of subscribers, that I might get a free game out of it for some advertising. But I will just go there because then I can get my game on the Friday.
Yeah.
The problem being that we don't get weekend posts.
There's 2 aspects to it. One, I mean, on this occasion, both of us pre-ordered Screamride, and it wasn't even dispatched until the day after it was released.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Amazon sent an apology, but I'm not sure what happened.
Didn't send me an apology.
Oh, well, yeah, they sent me one. Anyway, they obviously like me better. But so, and the thing is, because we're not in the UK officially, then of course we get the added sort of postage delay, and then we don't get weekend post, and it's just,
The weekends is the only time where you really get decent hours to play video games.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, back to the game. We both played the demo, and it's just, Dan played it as well briefly.
So is this a game that would maybe lean you towards Xbox? Kind of like the catalogue's building up now.
There is. I mean,
one I do want to play.
It's 2v1 now, you see. So
we're going to basically keep going at you until you buy it. So you might as well just buy it and get it over with. You got that. You got Halo, amongst many others. You're enjoying Tomb Raider right now.
Yeah.
Are you going to want to play the next one?
I know.
That's on Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I would buy you one, but I don't like it that much.
Forza.
Mainly on pause.
Lots of games coming up. Yeah.
But anyway, back to games. Screamride is a really good one. Recommend you check it out. Moving on now, Helldivers for PS3, PS4, and Vita. It's a kind of top-down shooter, 4-player kind of emphasis on co-op.
Yeah.
Dan, what did you think of this game? How did you?
Well, the way I described like the trailer and the look of it was essentially Starship Troopers. And so that was the exact vibe I got off the trailer, and then looking at what you're having to do in game, it's just like, I swear they're just taking complete inspiration from that. It's fine.
That's fine.
Shoot a lot of space bugs, basically.
It is almost like a sci-fi shooter that you go into alien planets and having to destroy them, and you've got kind of scientific weapons and stuff like that. It looks interesting, and people seem to be excited for it. So there must be I haven't really followed it, but there must be a reason.
Just putting that out there.
No,
I'm not a big top-down shooter kind of. Well, just generally, I'm not a big top-down kind of fan.
No, not a fan of convertibles then. So yes, moving on then. Shiftlings for Xbox One. I believe it's also available on PlayStation as well. But this week, new release, Xbox One. So this is basically a platformer where you control some dim-witted aliens, I think it is.
Yeah.
Is that how they describe them? Yeah. Or dim-witted alien space janitors, to be exact.
Yes.
On their quirky quest to repair the galaxy. So there seems to be a lot of kind of crude humour in here. Going back to Abe, there's a bit of farting going on.
So basically, if Abe doesn't fulfill your fart joke quota, you can jump on board this instead.
Yes, exactly.
I do, joking aside, the game it's very colourful, it's vibrant, the music sounds really fun and gets you really into the game, I think.
Oh, you were loving the trailer.
It does, I was like, this game looks really fun.
And then we muted it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the day. That's what games are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't look like it takes itself too seriously.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Might be one to check out.
Yeah, I think it will be one to check out.
White Knight for Xbox One, PS4, PC. This is a kind of a survival horror game set in the 1930s. It basically looks like from a trailer like your car crashes, so you don't have to kind of take refuge in like this mansion, but everything doesn't seem all kind of normal, and you end up having to survive from the kind of creepies goings on in the house. Now the big thing about this game is the art style. It's all black and white, which I really, really like. I don't know what you guys thought of it.
It's not my thing in terms of the artwork. I know you're a big fan of this kind of style, but it's not really for me.
You like your colours?
I do.
I liked it, but I'm trying to think of what the actual term for it is. But people will see it in the overlay anyway. The style itself.
Negative? Black and white? I don't know.
No, there's
there's a proper word.
The actual proper art style
Yeah.
has something, but I can't think
Noir?
of it.
I don't know.
No, isn't that French for black?
Yes.
Yeah, but are they called noir films? I don't know. Anyway.
So yeah, that's one that I really like the art style. I think I might check this one out just because it intrigues me.
Yeah.
So yes, like you said, people will see it on the overlay. They can make their own decision. OlliOlli 2 we won't talk about because
we already discussed
it earlier on in the show. But yes, PS4 Vita free. Make sure you go get it. Zombie Army Trilogy for PS4, Xbox One, PC. It's a tactical shooter where you basically shoot zombie Nazis.
Yeah. It's just spawned. It was originally a DLC for Sniper Elite V2.
Yep.
So it's like V3 as the Sniper Elite game has come out fairly recently. So
so V2 was the 360 one, but that was last month's Games with Gold, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this is obviously up-resed for the new generation. And hey, shooting Nazis.
That's fine. It's designed again as another one of those sort of like co-op based sort of like horde mode-esque games where you've got your objectives to complete while running around trying not to get eaten.
The question is, though, I suppose, in there is Call of Duty already lets you shoot Nazi zombies or that kind of zombies. So
yeah, but like,
is there place?
Like, the difference is with this, and I do feel like the zombie market is getting oversaturated.
Yeah.
But the difference between this and the Call of Duty thing is that Call of Duty doesn't actually have an end point most of the time. It just survives as long as you can.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's got like set missions or whatever.
It's more of a campaign to it. Yeah.
You've actually got a purpose to try and get to the end of, rather than just like, hey, I managed to level 12 this time, kind of thing.
Yeah, agree. I mean, I've not got too many thoughts on this. It's I could take it or leave it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Dan's comment about the zombie market being very saturated, and
it is.
You've got to.
That's another conversation for another day.
Well, it is. Maybe for party chat every Wednesday.
Don't have to plug it every weekend. Beat me to it. So a couple more here very quickly. Starwhal for PS4, PS3. This game looks weird but fun. It's basically a multiplayer fighter, kind of. They describe it as a retro epic narwhal battle in space. So that is literally what it is.
To me, it's the sort of game you want to play when you are super high.
I'm pretty sure the people when they made it were super high. It's like, but at the same time,
It is.
We've
fun.
talked
It
about
is.
this before. There's so many games now. You need to do something to make your game stand out.
Mhm.
So having kind of narwhals kind of playing, like, fencing
Yeah.
with each other.
We'll have Night
In
and Cat
space.
next week.
No, I like it. I like people that do something different.
Well, yeah.
Dan was saying before we should pick it up and do like kind of a let's play on it at some point because it does look fun.
Yeah.
It does look a bit silly. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Maybe it's your kind of game.
And closing out then is La-Mulana Ex. EX, that is.
Yes.
I believe it's a remake of an old kind of platforming game from the early noughties. Very much kind of Metroidvania kind of style to this game. Very retro looking, 2D platformer. And it basically, according to PlayStation Blog, it takes you deep into the ancient ruins of La-Mulana on a quest to discover not just valuable treasure, but the secret to life itself.
Oh, that's deep.
So, if you've ever wondered the secret of life,
You have to play this.
make
game.
sure
game.
you buy
It's got the
La-Mulana
answer.
because the answer is there. So,
It's been a conspiracy. I can't even say
my
it.
brother, man.
It's been a conspiracy all my life.
That's for Vita as well, if you're interested. So, yeah. Unless you guys got any comments on that game, that's
No.
pretty much it. Excellent comments. So, what's your pick of the week, Ashley?
It's got to be Screamride. I mean, I ordered Screamride. I do like the look of Screamride, but I also really want Shiftlings as well. So I'll go with a sort of.
You can pick two.
Yeah, I'll have to pick two. I can't really just decide between the two.
That's fine. Dan?
Screamride. Straight up. That is the game that I do want.
Yeah. Better get an Xbox One then.
Yeah, you better get an Xbox One first. Yeah.
You can have my 360 if you want to buy it on 360.
Now I'm right.
Yeah, buy an Xbox One then. Mine is also Screamride. I think it's a really good game. I can't wait to play more of it. My review will be coming when the original copy ever actually turns up, if it does turn up. But I'm also keen to play OlliOlli 2 as well.
Yeah, OlliOlli 2. I will be getting it because it's free on PS Plus, and I think it'd be another one of those games that's just great for on the Vita when you're travelling or whatever. I think it's going to be good. But no, Screamride in terms of playability as well. I think it's just got hours and hours of replayability.
It's that kind of leaderboard kind of challenge as well, isn't it?
Compete against your friends.
Always do better. So, okay, that's it. Guys, thank you, as always. And thank you, everyone out there, for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do subscribe to our channel and share us with your friends. If you want to speak to us about any of the topics or games we've discussed this week, please leave a comment down below and we will respond to you. But for now, Ash, Dan, as always,
Yeah, it's been fun.
it's been my pleasure. And maybe your pleasure as well. I don't know. Mainly my pleasure, it's fine. And everyone out there, we will see you next Monday.